sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Chicago Bears and the Cincinnati Bengals. It's 3-0 versus 2-1, a good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go now.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. This defense for the Bears, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They're going to look to throw. Finding Sutton on the out route, who makes the catch. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Come on. Hey.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. The Bengals had 2-1 now to start the campaign, and they move back above 500 with a victory last week.
And you look at their start, a win, a loss, then a win. This might be something we see from them a lot this year, because when they're at their best, they can play with anybody. But bringing their best every week, that's been a challenge thus far.
2nd and 11. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I've never returned punts, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are, about whether you should fair catch it or not. But sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
And he's got it down to the 28.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now this time he'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit, because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
McPherson's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Take it in at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Fields. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Darnell Mooney, the target there. And it's 3rd and short.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Here's Fields. That's complete to Mooney. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1. They'll try and run for it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
We're all still valiantly searching for the so-called book, right, that tells us what to do in every situation. Everyone kind of knows what it says, but it's never really been written down anywhere. He violated every code on that one, didn't he? Deciding to go for it right there.
Oh, yeah, your side of the field, this stage of the game, you're supposed to punt the football. He said, who cares? I'm going to light the book on fire.
Yeah, analytics, everyone else, be warned, he's coming for you.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Look pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Well, when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
They start the drive with Cook. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Back to throw. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
This will be fielded inside the 5. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Bengals grab it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers, and quickly.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Touchdown! A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now it's Fields. They're looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Rasul Douglas picks it. And the Bears are going to get the football back at their own 17. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe
he's got a man complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. With a pick.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 2-yard line.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. We are in for a good one as we're through 1 on EA Sports. This is taken at the 15. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls at work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the plague did on the last one.
15 yards there on the play as they try to chip away at this 15-point deficit.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Fields. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing on third down, Fields. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. From the gun, he'll hand this off. Taken down at the 47-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
He'll let this go for the end zone. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Yeah, and that throw traveling an even 64 yards in the air. This is taken just shy of the 10. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And it won't count for 6. He's brought down, but inside the 5. 1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. Well, speed is definitely a calling card if you play cornerback in this league, and he does a terrific job there of hustling in quickly to make the play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Justin Fields with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Bears have come back to make it a 2-point game. Extra point splits the uprights, and this is now a 1-point game. So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. Takes it at the 7. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Bengals drive about to get going.
This offense hoping to do better than last drive. Remember, they had the fumble that set up the short field, and then they gave up the touchdown CD.
And so many people talk about how you have to have a shot.
The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Second time he's fumbled in this game. Fortunate for him, this one goes out of bounds.
And the key for him now is how much equity have you built up with your coaching staff? How much equity have you built up with your team to continue to get opportunities? Fortunate that one went out of bounds, saved him from a turnover.
Here's 2nd and 8.
Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Play action. It's Fields.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears.
Adam Troutman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bears have taken the lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 6-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right,
throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run it again with Cook. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle. And that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. He'll look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now stands at 13.
Bears 30, Bengals 17. Matthew White set to kick off.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
From the 10. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Ready.
Off the option, he'll try and run with it.
And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A rough go there on third down, a loss of 4. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Fourth down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt.
This is taken at the 23. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Bears take over.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last.
Touchdown, Chicago! Jerry Jeudy, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This one fielded at the 5. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And they run the option on second down.
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And that stretches the lead to 27.
Makes the score Bears 44, Bengals 17.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Fielded right around the 8. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Boy, and now they can't even get a playoff.
Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Let's go now.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And down he'll go at the 25. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Now, the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30.
Boy, 30 more yards and another first down.
It doesn't look like this defense found the magic elixir at halftime. This offense was rolling in the first half, and that's continued here in the third quarter. Another big play right there.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for first and 10.
Hands it off out of the gun.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
And here's a handoff out of the gun.
And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down. They'll try and run the option left side. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, Sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great effort there.
Hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bears take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Bears 51, Bengals 17. Matthew Wright.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Gets around him, and he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground.
And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. From the gun on 3rd down, Fields.
Looking left sideline, it's complete.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable. They've been shredded so far.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
To throw is Fields.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Tre'Davious White with a pick.
And the Bengals are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just...
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he will have the Bears 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once...
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a nice pick up there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
On 2nd and goal, here's an option play left. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago.
Justin Fields.
His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Bears are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
We've paid this offense plenty of compliments already, but, I mean, they are deserving as they start another series. To be leading by this much with so much time left to play in the 4th, Charles, it's really been impressive to watch.
It has been, and you have to think to yourself, the preparation that went into this, but the absolute focus that they kept throughout in order to have this kind of a result. This is Super Bowl-esque, and they've got to feel awfully good about what they put out there today.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Got a man, it's Judy complete. Finding room at midfield. And he's going to step out of bounds all the way down at the 30-yard line.
A huge play there for Chicago. And even 40 yards.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And I actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the 3rd quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the 4th quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
Now he's able to break through 1 tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. On 4th down, Kyle Shanahan will send out the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And once again, he's going to be stopped up behind the line. 2nd straight play. Shades of the 85 Bear defense a little bit.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Bears, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens.